Hello everybody, it's me, and yes, it's another heart. I bet you guys are disappointed. You cannot be disappointed in this video because you guys are going to be so excited when you see the finished product. Okay, sorry you guys. I got a different little pad here to do my work on top of this time. It's just one of those little mats from the Dollar Tree, but it's turned upside down. It's a little less white than the top of my silicone mat. So I think you can see a little bit better, but I didn't want to go with another color on top of this. So this is where we're going, guys. So anyway, this is what we're going to be creating, something similar to this one. And you can see I used the little disco mirrors that you get from the Dollar Tree. And this is, let me grab the top of it. This is the package that it comes in here. Disco tiles, peel and stick backing, and they can be cut out, they can be done square by square, however you want to do them. So here you can see I did them square by square. That can be a bit time consuming, so we will be speeding up the process through the magic of video editing to get through that part. But we also did the you can see on the back here we did use the saran wrap to put the crackle inside of the heart. So beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. So anyway, I didn't make a video when I did my first one, so I thought, well, why not make a video for this one? So that's what I'm doing. I've got all my stuff here that I want to use. I had to go find I wanted to put this dragonfly in as one of the parts of this one. I love this dragonfly so much. It's very vintagey looking. It's like blacks and sepia, and you know, it's got flowers in it, and it's small. That's why I wanted to use it on the heart. So we are definitely going to be using that dragonfly. And I have this one little antique-y looking flower here that I may put in somewhere. I don't know that I'll put it on the dragonfly, but maybe somewhere in the heart. And then I have this glass butterfly as well. This was an earring that I bought. I bought a pair of earrings, and these were the part that goes in your ear, and then it had little hanging butterflies and stuff. But I've used everything except for this one butterfly. I think this is the only one I have left. So anyway, so you guys remember my heart mold. Now I can tell you guys, these molds sometimes do not last a real long time. They're not real thick and heavy, and it's a coaster mold is what it is. And somebody sent it to me through Happy Mail, and I understand this. I know they don't always last real long because the resin can stick to them, and then it pulls that part of the mold off, and then you no longer have a mold that you can use not to make a thick butterfly. I could probably still put some resin across the bottom of it, and I will keep it just in case. So what I did was I went on Amazon and I ordered a set of heart coasters. And it was a set of 4, but they gave me 1 free, so I got 5 of them for like $7.99. So I will put the link to these heart molds on my video in the description menu for you guys. Please, 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 if you will, give this video a thumbs up, make a comment. I need that, you guys, so that we can continue to grow the channel. I know I sound like I'm begging, and I probably kind of am. I don't like doing that. I really don't. But if I don't, then people don't remember to do it later in the video, and then I don't end up getting much in the way of comments and likes, and then YouTube does not put my videos out in front of as many people. So whenever you guys have done that for me, and you've put extra comments and likes on my videos, it's amazing the difference between that video and the following videos as to how many views I get. I get way more views, way more likes, and all of that. But I need to keep growing that number so that my subscriber numbers grow and my channel can grow. And that doggone algorithm, I know you guys hate hearing about that, so do I, but it's true. That's how we're able to earn a living, and I would love to be able to earn a living just doing this, you guys. If I could, I would be doing it now, but it's not at that point yet. This is some lace. I did buy some more of this lace. I got it on Amazon. I'll put a link to this lace as well. It's very beautiful. I love this lace, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen it and or used it. It just really is a gorgeous, gorgeous lace. It's got lots of the clear sequins in it. And the design of the lace, the floral design, is just so pretty. I love it, and that's why I bought more. I got 2 pieces, and I want to say each piece was a yard or 2 yards. I think each piece was a yard, and it wasn't real expensive, you guys. So I will put the link. I can't remember what the price was at the moment. I will put the link up so that you guys can get in and purchase some of this yourselves. And right now I'm just cutting a couple of pieces up so that I can use them in this heart, because I do love the lace on there, and with the style of this heart, the lace goes really, really nice with it. So I want to make sure I have some ready to go for this one as well. I'm trying to cut this off. These scissors are not cutting real well today. Let's see. I have another pair here. Let's see. Because I will sell this. I'm getting ready to do, I think I'm going to do one of these. I'm doing a donation for my friend. She has a shop in honor of her daughter, Skylar. My friend's name is Cecilia, and she has a shop in honor of her daughter. And all of the proceeds that she gets from this shop go to, she has put together, she lost her daughter at the age of 11, and this month she would have been 17, and so she has put together this shop so that she can do a scholarship fund for kids for college. So she's doing that in honor of her daughter, and I think that's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. She loves her daughter very much, and she misses her very, very much. And this was a way that she found she could honor her daughter, and her daughter would be very proud to have her mother doing this in her name. So that's what she does. She when she gets enough, she puts together a scholarship donation for someone in her daughter's name. She doesn't have a foundation, you guys. It's not a foundation. She just does a donation in her daughter's name. And she makes that very clear on her website. I will put, she's got some items that she's selling in her shop, and I will put a link to her shop in the description menu of this video so you guys can check it out. It's a lovely little shop. Okay, so we've got those sort of cut up and beautified, and let me just take my my little torch here, we're just going to go along these edges very, very gently and get rid of the extra bits of the mesh that's in there. And trying not to burn it at the same time like I just did there. Sometimes it happens, you guys, and we just can't help it. I'll try and clean that up. Looks like I got it in a couple of places on that one, but that's okay. It's because I was trying to go too deep into some of those crevices. Some of them are pretty deep. This one doesn't have a lot of those, so. And it's very hard to see that sometimes when you're looking down at this. It's hard to see that mesh and just how much is there. And if it catches, it catches. There's not a lot you can do about it, guys. It happens to all of us. I've watched some of my favorite crafters do the same thing. It just happens. And it's still usable, you guys. Don't throw a piece of lace away just because you have a little bit of a burn spot on it. It's still a cool piece of lace and it's still usable. Okay, so there we go. Those are all cleaned up. And this is one of the new hearts that I pulled out of the package. And you can see this is the package of the hearts, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So for $7.99 to get 5 of the molds, I thought that was pretty excellent. So now I've got them. They'll last me a little bit. When one falls apart, I can pull out another one, or I can do more than one heart at a time if I want to. So I think that's just great. All right, so first things first, what we have to do is we have to put we need to keep our torch out here. We have to put our resin, and I've got I'm holding this with tissue paper because there's a little bit of resin on the bottom. I've got my B's resin, or BS resin, UV resin here. This is my favorite resin. It's not terribly expensive, and it works the very best of all of the resins, the UV resins I've tried. It's a little bit thinner. It creates less bubbles, and the bubbles that it does create come to the surface very quickly. So I'm able to torch them, put them out, and I don't get a whole bunch more bubbles that pop up. So I love this resin. I'll put a link to that in the description menu as well. So you guys will know. I see a couple of fuzzes right here. And that one was on the back side. Okay. Nice and clean. I gotta get this fuzz off the back side because I keep thinking it's on the inside of the mold. There. Okay. So now I'm just going to cover the bottom side of the heart. And there's a part of me that this time I want to kind of do this a little bit differently. Because the other times I've done this, what I've done is I've put my resin in there, and then I've put my saran wrap in. And actually, I'm probably, honestly, saving resin by doing that, because I'm not putting a layer of resin down, curing it, and then putting another layer of resin in order to do the saran wrapping. So it's probably better that I do it the way I've been doing it. But a part of me wants to see if it comes out any better by putting a layer down, and I'm trying to make this a very thin layer of resin here, but we've got to make sure it touches all of the edges of this heart and that it stays there, that it doesn't pull away from those edges, you guys. And it's typically it does. It wants to pull away from the edges. If you get enough resin in there, it won't do it too bad. So right now I've got a pretty good layer of resin in there, and it doesn't seem to be pulling away. So I'm going to torch it because there are bubbles. You can see those bubbles pop when I hit them with the torch. And as long as I keep seeing bubbles popping, I will keep just touching it ever so slightly to get rid of those bubbles. Okay, I think I've got them. So what I do is I put my lamp on and I turn it on the top part and the bottom part. And I'm going to find the button to the bottom. So I hit the bottom 3 times, hit the top 3 times, and I'm going to slide this in on top of my mat and let it go for 5 minutes, you guys. Okay, so we have our heart, and it's got our first layer of resin in the bottom. So now I'm going to take and I'm going to put another layer, and this is kind of cupped. I don't know if you guys can see it very well. I'm not going to touch it much because I'm going to keep it in that cupped position. See how it's kind of folding down on these edges? I want it to be that way. I want it to be sort of rounded on the top, and that underside is the top. So I have my saran wrap here. But first things first, we're going to put a layer of resin down, and this layer is going to stick really well on top of the other layer of resin. So it's gonna do its job, and it'll stick to the edges better because it's laying on top of resin and not that silicone mold that wants to let it just pull away. I mean, it will pull away because it's cupped, but that's okay. There will be some resin up to those edges, so it'll be all right. And I'm putting a thin layer of resin all around the inside here, you guys. I'm going to make sure that it covered the whole thing, and it did. And put that aside. We're going to gently torch it and get rid of the bubbles. I don't know if you guys can see the bubbles breaking, but I don't want to handle this too much, because what will happen if I handle it too much is it'll pull away from the bottom, and then I'll end up with little bits of resin that will ooze underneath, and then I'll have an issue. So I'm going to be careful using the saran wrap. I have my piece right here that I took off of my saran wrap from the kitchen. I'm going to lay it across the top and let it sort of lay down in the resin. And then I'm going to take, I want to sort of twist in spots. I want to do this one a little bit different. Whether it's going to work or not, I do not know, but I'm going to try it anyway. So I want to get something that will help me to kind of twist it. Maybe this will work well. I've got my little needle nose pliers, and they're open a little bit, so I'm just going to take and lift this up, lay that down inside there, just kind of all the way around. Just lift it up so that it doesn't stick to the edges, you guys. And if it gets a little crinkled, don't worry about it. We're going for a crinkled look to begin with. And we're looking for a kind of a broken heart here, if you can call it that. Okay, so I've got that in there. Now you can see there's a few lines in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it like this, and I'm going to try and just twist. I don't know how well this is working. It's probably going to work better if I just use my fingernails. So you can see. And then I'll pull this up and loosen it a little bit. Trouble is the Saran Wrap wants to stick to my fingernails. I don't think the twisting is going to show up much, but that's okay. It's kind of a cool idea, I thought. And maybe I'll figure out a way to do this that actually works better. And then we'll just kind of put our little crinkled edges around the edge of the mold, because we want those crinkles in there too. We don't want any real smooth edges, because then that broken look doesn't show up. And you guys, the first one I did, the Saran Wrap came out really, really easily. The second and third ones I did, and fourth, not as much. So what happens is the resin gets kind of up inside there, and it gets caught between the bits of Saran Wrap. So yeah, we're going to get mostly just a crinkled look on this. Oh well, I tried. I'm going to figure out a way to get some twists in these and give it that look, that twisted look. Okay, shove that onto the edges. And the resin tends to go up the sides of the mold. That's okay too, you guys. Don't even worry about that stuff. And I'm going to show you how easy it is, how truly easy it is to just use your nippers and cut that and make it all look good. Now the back side is lumpy on these, and that's okay. I'm totally okay with that, because I'm not going to put resin to smooth it out, because what's going to happen if I put resin in there is it's going to take away the crackled look, because the resin's just going to fall up under all of those little cracks and crevices. It's going to fall into those spaces, and it's going to smooth it all out. So you don't want to do that. Okay, so we've got it all sort of crackly and crazy in there. So now I'm going to just pop it in my lamp again and go another 5 minutes on both sides. And I'll be back. Okay, here it is. It's a little bit warm right now. I don't usually like to pull this stuff out when it's still warm, but I think I'm just going to go for it this time. We're going to pull our Saran Wrap out, and I'm guessing it's probably going to stick. Yeah, it's sticking pretty good in a lot of places. Some places not so bad. That corner didn't get a very good crinkle. Okay, I'm gonna say I don't like putting this in there after there's a layer of resin down. I've already decided. Okay, this is coming off through the middle of it though. That's actually kind of good. Oh no, it's not. It's just, yeah, I guess it did. A little bit. Okay. Well, we'll see when we get it all out of here, because I'm feeling like the saran wrap stuck even worse. We got our crackles, but over here, you can see in this corner, I hardly got anything at all, because I didn't twist up the saran wrap well enough, I guess. But that's what we have. I'm going to take a toothpick here and see if I can get in here and get some of this other saran wrap up and out of here. Just the little pieces. It's near impossible, you guys. You can't see it. That's the good thing. You cannot see that saran wrap at all, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just not even going to bother with it because I left it in the other ones and I don't even know it's there. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to pop this out of our mold and see what the front side looks like. And try and take this off without cracking the mold, so that mold's fine. And there's our crackle, and it looks really pretty, you guys. It's fine. I think what I'll do is maybe put a little extra mirroring right there, but it came out really cool. I love it. I don't have a problem actually with the way the edges came out right there. This side is a little less crackled. The middle is very crackled. It took really, really well. So I'm okay with that. I like it. I actually like it. So I'm going to take my new nippers that Susie sent me. And I'm going to nip out all of these little, I don't know if you guys can see them. See these little edges that are sticking up there on the sides? It nips off of there super easy with your nippers. And I get a nice clean cut. See, it's back down to just the heart's edge right there. Sometimes you don't get as clean a cut, and that's okay too if there's a couple little pieces popping up. Don't worry about it, guys. And I just kind of feel around, try and feel any like tall pieces that might stick somebody. We don't want that. So you can see how easy this is, you guys. This is just super easy to just go around the edge and nip it off. These nippers are great. They're pretty much like the little red ones that Kim sent me. I just have, I've used those so much that over time they start to go dull and then they break. And that's what happened to those, my red ones. And this was the second pair that broke the exact same way. So, but they lasted me a while and I used them a lot, just about every day. So, if you ask me, I think they stood up to the test of time. Sooner or later, they're going to break down. Okay. I just don't want anything sticking up that's going to stab somebody. So there we have a few little pieces of, you know, broken plastic, basically. Throw those away. And there we have it. It's a nice, beautiful, well-shaped heart. There's only a couple of little spots that might be slightly bumpy, but that doesn't matter. We're going to put rhinestones around the edge of this. Or, I wonder if maybe I'll use my pearls on this one, my pink pearls. I did just buy a new package of, these are 4mm AB rhinestones. But I'm going to put these on first, and then I will do the mirrors. So let's go ahead. I've got some of my B7000 here. And I'm just going to measure this around. Sometimes the smaller ones are harder to work with than the bigger ones, honestly. But they still work out just fine. It's just me grabbing a hold of them with my hands the way they are these days. And you have to be careful, because at the top part of these hearts, once they come out of the mold, the top side up here tends to pull away from the surface that you're working on. So, and these don't want to lay the way they're supposed to. There, okay. Still not perfect, but that's okay. I just need to get them measured around and then get them cut, and then it will be a lot easier to put these on once the adhesive is on there. So I just need to, I'm just going to go like this and basically get a close cut. I'm going to cut a little bit longer, just in case. Put this away. And I think that's going to be really, really pretty on there. Yeah, that whole center, this part right here doesn't even touch the surface at all. Pull this around, and if I've got these all sitting up right, then I kind of know where I can cut. And it looks like they're all sitting upright, so we're going to cut this right here. Okay, now here's the thing. I think I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put a piece of silicone mat down, because when I'm going to just take this off, because when I'm working with my B7000, it won't stick to the silicone on the mat. So when I put that on there, I can put it on, set it down, and let it dry, and then I don't have to worry about it sticking to the mat, and I can just pull it right off and we're good to go. So let's put our heart over there, and there we go. And this container of B7000 lost its little pin. It's stuck in the lid because I didn't clean it off like I should have. And I can't get it out. So I'm sorry, I'm just clipping another little piece of resin that I saw got in this little corner here. And if I get that off of there, maybe it will sit down on the mat a little bit tighter. Okay. And I'm going to face this up when I lay it down. So let's go ahead, let's get our B7000 on there. We're just going to go around the entire heart. Make sure you've got enough on there, but don't put way too much. Don't put it so that it's, I mean, it's probably going to ooze out here or there, and especially when you're using the smaller rhinestones. When you're using the bigger ones, it's more likely to just settle into the cracks in between the rhinestones, but on these little tiny ones, it has a little bit more likelihood of oozing a little bit, but I honestly have not had any trouble. Of course, I've got many years of doing this under my belt now. I've been doing it a long time, and I've learned kind of how to apply. But see, every now and then I go overboard, or I get a little too much, or it gets a little bit on the top, and I can see a spot right over here where I did that, but I'm going to leave it alone right now. I'm going to drop it. And I'm going to start just by pressing this down right up here. Flipping it so the right side is pointing up. The pearls, you want the pearls facing you. Yeah, see, it's really sliding right under there, so I'm trying to be careful and just gently lay it all along that edge. And then at the end, once it starts to get a little bit more cured, I'll be able to pick it up and move the pearls around a little bit to get them all in the right spot. This spot here I'm not loving, right here. Because they're literally slipping right underneath that heart. And I mean, it just takes a little bit of patience, you guys. Just use your patience. Be kind to the heart. Don't get mad. It will cooperate, but it just might give you a little bit of trouble in a few spots. Okay, I'm going to take my little toothpick here, flip that over so the pearls are pointing up. And I'm just sort of going along. I want to push these because this last one is not quite where I want it to be. But like I said, once it gets to where it's started to set up a little bit, I can work it around and work with it until I can get it all exactly where I need it to be, and it'll be fine. I'm like one pearl short right there, and I think I will be able to fix that without having to cut an extra pearl off to make it fit. Thank you. Yeah, I can see here. I am going to have to cut off at least one more pearl, and I hope I can get it in there the right way and get it to stick. So I'm just going to take that and pop it right there. And again, once I pull this up from the surface, I'm going to go under my mat here. Go like this. There we go. And I'm just going to push it up. That piece has a little bit of glue up the side of it, and I cannot do that. So I have to pull that glue off of there. And where's the pearl here? You know, I feel like I really don't like that whole section right there. And sometimes this happens, guys. It's just a small little section here. I'm going to cut that off. And where did I put that other little piece that I cut off of here? Did I put it in there? No? Okay, that's all right. I know I had a little piece that I cut off of there, but I'm going to go with 5 pearls there. And again, I'm going to go under here. I'm going to lift it up. And I feel like I need to add just another little dot of glue, and we'll just sort of spread it across there. And if I can only get hold of this and hold it in the right direction, we will be all set to go. So I'm just going to lay it right there. Pop it in there. And of course, it's spun around again. Oh, it didn't go the bad way. You spin that way. There. Get that little piece inside. Just like that. Okay, I feel that is good. So that's what that looks like. And those are all just little tiny, tiny pink pearls. And we could take that and we could go one step further if we wanted to, which would be really pretty. I haven't done that on one of these. Let me open this up real quick. I just want to see, just for the fun of it. We're going to take our, and of course this has saran wrap in it. This saran wrap is always so hard to get off of these. Oh, not so bad this time. Okay, I'm sorry. And this is 10 yards, and I want to say I got this for $14. I can't remember, but I will put the link to this 10 yards of 4mm rhinestone chain. That is an amazing, I got an amazing deal. It was actually the same price as some of the 5-yard packages, and these are beautiful rhinestones. I hadn't bought, this is from Amazon, I haven't bought from this particular seller before, so I wasn't sure, you know, if they were going to be good, but sometimes you just got to try it out and see if you like it. And this is going to be pretty to add these around the outside of those baby pearls. I'm going to pull this over here. Just let's put this back in its bag. Guys, I still don't have my craft room cleaned up the way I want it to get, and I have got to do it like very soon. And I've realized, the more that I think about it and the more I look at it, that I really probably am going to have to take like a couple of weeks off. If I didn't have my other job, I could take a week off and get it done. But that means I'm going to be behind on videos. So what I need to do is I need to get several videos ahead. You know, make several videos. Get them ready to go for an entire week. And then, look at that. Oh my goodness, you guys. It's gorgeous. So yes, we are going to add that beautiful rhinestone chain around the outside of this. Okay. So here we go again. We're going to add this to the edge of the pearls, and we're going to be very gentle about it. A nice little line of B7000. And now I'm trying to just let that little string fall in there. But you have to put enough on this edge so that those rhinestones are going to stick. And they'll stick on this better than the pearls did to the heart. I will tell you that. They'll be much, much, much easier to put on there and let sit. So we just got to get along this edge here. And you guys, for sure, when I add those mirrors to the inside, we are going to fast forward through that portion of the video, because you guys don't need, it's not that difficult to figure out how to cut those little, to take those mirrors out. I will show you the first few and then get them all in there. So I'll take them all off the backing that they're on now. I'll show you how easy they come apart. And I'll take the sticky off, or the backing off of them. And then the good part is, what I learned from doing the first one was I used cornstarch, because they're still sticky on the back, and if you leave that sticky on the back, they don't want to let go of your finger to get on the heart. So you just have to use a little cornstarch. And I'm just sliding these down so that they'll come together. Sometimes you have to go around it a couple times to make it all move. Patience is a virtue here. Grab my little toothpick here, pull that out. There we go. There we go. Oh, you guys, this is going to be so pretty. So we're going to let that sit for a few minutes. We're going to let it harden a bit, and I will be right back, and we will get to work on our mirrors. Be right back. Okay, so let's go ahead. We've got our rhinestones on there pretty darn good, and that's what our heart looks like so far. And wait till you guys see it. I take video of them when they're hanging after I make them, and oh my goodness, the sparkle that comes out of these is so gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I can't seem to get the same thing in this craft room, because for some reason the lighting just is not great in here. And so it just doesn't, this room does not bring out the true sparkle in my stuff. So here's the thing. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with our little mirrors. I have a little container of magic here, and this is my cornstarch. We're going to flip this upside down. I just realized there's a little piece of saran wrap stuck on the outside of this, and of course a couple of things that are on top, but we're going to clean this real good over the top of it once we're done, and get any little things that have stuck to, not really stuck to, but little particles of stuff that are on my mat here that tend to want to gravitate towards that, but they'll all come off real easily. A little spray of alcohol and we're good. Okay, so it's flipped upside down now, and you're in a little closer. So what we have to do is, this all has a backing on it, so we're gonna pull back that backing. And I'm going to take a section of these and cut them off, and they cut off really easily. But then I have to break them all apart. So I just go between, I just let them fold over a little bit, and you can cut the adhesive part. Just let it drop, especially if you have a silicone mat, just let it drop on your mat. You guys, if you don't have one already, best purchase ever. And I have not purchased my own silicone mats. I've had them sent to me by subscribers, and oh my gosh, I can't thank you guys enough for sending these to me. They are a lifesaver. Between Resin and Adhesives, oh my word, they are amazing. And they have saved me a lot of heartache with my projects. Why is that one shorter? Oh, it folded under. I didn't think that looked right. I've just got a couple of these little mirrors that folded over to the back side. And they're stuck back to back. Now, the only thing is with the cornstarch, you don't want to get too much of it on your project. So you're going to take a little tiny brush or something to brush it on there. And I think I have, yeah, I have some little brushes here. Let me open this package. And we're going to take just this one out right there, and that's what we'll use for our cornstarch. And I'm going to cut at least one more row of these out. Try not to let them get stuck to each other this time. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to turn these over, because if I can do a bunch of these at one time, it's going to save me a lot of hassles. These little ones that already broke apart are going to be my pains right now. So these I can flip over, no problem. And they will let go of my fingernails. Oh, there's one more. And that one. And I think I'm going to cut one more row just to be on the safe side. And I had another pack of these that I already opened, and I had put them aside for this purpose, and I have no clue where I put them in here, so I had to open a fresh pack today. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to open them when I didn't have to. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my little bit of cornstarch. The other day I was just using my finger, but I think this will work. Well, might work better. Just to take this and tap it and just kind of go along the sticky side of this. And we're going to cut these apart, you guys. If you break them apart, you're going to end up with little pieces of paper that you're going to see on the sides, and then you're going to have to try and trim that off, and that, my dears, is a pain. Ask me how I know, because I had to do that and it was a huge pain. So that was before I figured out, hey, maybe some cornstarch might be a benefit to me, and I got it out, and wow, what a difference a little bit of cornstarch makes. And then I'm going to also check the back side of these and make sure the mirrors are clean before I lay them into my heart. I don't want a bunch of cornstarch stuck all over the fronts of them. And I'm sure there's some getting getting underneath them. I'm not going to worry about that so much right now. I'm trying not to let it happen, but it's going to happen. Because some of the cornstarch just kind of balls up a little bit and goes where it wants to go. Okay. Just make sure you've got enough on there so that your fingers are not just sticking constantly and you're constantly having to play with them to be able to do anything. Goodness. I know that you miss a few little spots on this paper when you're doing this because you can see where there's still a couple of shiny spots on it. No big deal. I'm just going to rub a little bit more on these and then we'll go ahead and get started with cutting these apart. So you can see I've got cornstarch on the front side of these. That's okay. It wipes right off. And I'm going to turn these upside down. And I just try to cut a few of them, well, cut a whole bunch of them at a time. And I'm just taking this and I'm rubbing it across my pants here just to get that cornstarch off of them. It's easier that way. And I'm just going to go down and just start snipping them. And they still want to stick to your scissors because there's still that adhesive kind of in between the tiles. No big deal. So I'm going to finish cutting these up and I'll be right back, you guys. Okay, you guys, so I did this all wrong. I just realized while I was cutting up these tiles, I was supposed to put these tiles in before I crinkled the backside. And I didn't do that. So, if I put them in now, upside down here, and resin in there, I'm going to undo all of my crinkles. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm just going to do little dots of resin all around. And that's how we're going to do this. That way I won't lose everything that I did. Holly. But I can still put my mirrors in there. So it's just what we have to do. One of those little things that happens. So we're just gonna like lightly put a few dots of resin and then drop our little tiles in there. And hopefully drop them on top of the spots where we put resin. Just found a spot where there's some saran wrap that I could get out of there. So I think it'll still be gorgeous, you guys. I don't think that I have done really any damage at all. It just is going to be done in a different manner. We just had to change the process up a little bit. That's all. Because I can still get these to stick to the resin that I'm dropping in there, but I'm only dropping like a little dot of resin. So it's not going to go into all of the cracks and crevices. And I could probably just kind of paint it across a section like that. And that's another piece of saran wrap, so we might as well just get that out of there if we see it. I wanted to try and put a few more of the mirrors in there than I did on the first one. So this is just what we're going to have to do here. And I will speed up the camera, so I'm going to stop talking now so you guys don't have to sit through every second of this process. And I don't think there's any resin there. Okay, you guys, so I boo-booed. So, because I put the crackle and then the mirrors down instead of the mirrors and then the crackle, I lost 3/4 of my crackles that were in here. So I have added a layer of resin to the back of this, and I have a piece of cellophane, and we're going to crackle that, crackle, crackle. And we're going to put a whole bunch of crackles in here so you can see them. And I'm almost kind of hoping that maybe the cellophane will actually come off a little easier this time because it's closer to the surface, sort of. I don't think it's going to be any better, but I can hope. But we are going to have our crackles in there because it was pretty. It was still beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but we want the crackle look on this particular ornament, so I shall make sure that we get that. There's such a thin layer of resin in here. I mean, super thin on the bottom here, but it should be plenty enough to get our crackle effect and be good. So that's all we're doing. We've got our little bit of cellophane all over the heart, and we're gonna let her go. For some reason, I think my button's stuck on the bottom side of my lights because the bottom ones are staying on, and I think it's because maybe there was some resin maybe there was some resin on the button and it's stuck. And so I'm going to have to clean that off. Right now I just need to get this resin off of my pad here. So we're going to let this cure, and I took out my Faith, Hope, Love. These are transfers. So these are the ones you use water with. So I'm going to show you how these work. Super easy. And you can see that you can use just your little rub-on transfers to put whatever you want. I got these by accident the first time. I thought I was buying decals, and I was buying rub-on transfers, and these are for like when you want to put them on a glass or a plate or something like that. So still great for us to use. And so I used one and it worked out fine. So I was happy with that. So I bought some more because I wanted some different inspirational words. And so I found another set that I liked, and I went ahead and got them. They're about $9 a package, and there's 2 sheets to a package. And like this one has Faith, Hope, Love, Surrender, Love Conquers All, Be Kind, Be Still, Embrace the Journey Ahead, Let It Be, You Are Stronger Than You Know, Faith Over Fear, I love that one. That's again Love Conquers All, Everything Happens for a Reason, and Grace. And then this one says Saved by Grace. That's my favorite one. I didn't use that for this one. I used Faith, Hope, Love for this one. And yeah, so I'll be right back. Okay guys, so let's pull this off and hope that it all comes off. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Remember, it's not going to be a problem. Somebody gave me a tip on this, and I can't remember what it was. I need to go back and look at one of my other videos where she gave me the tip on the cellophane. I mean, it's not, like I said, you guys, it's not a big deal. It just lays right in there and it doesn't harm anything. So it's not like it's that big a deal. See, I can get a hold of little pieces like that and kind of pull them out. I don't know why the very first one I did came out so perfectly, and the cellophane came right out, and I, honest to goodness, didn't do anything different. But since then, it has stuck in every single one I've done, and I think maybe it's because I'm just crackling it too much. That may be it in a nutshell. But that's all right. Okay. I'm just trying to get off any little jagged tips. And I think that the cellophane just kind of melts right into the resin. That's why it doesn't really show. It just kind of becomes part of the resin. And like I said, there are spots where you'll get a hold of it and you can get some of it out of there. But most of it, especially in that midsection, is just going to stay. The main purpose for me going across the whole thing like this is just getting, again, all of those little jagged points that might be in there out. I'm a little bit bummed, I have to say, you guys, that this happened, because I totally did it backwards, and it makes me so mad at myself that I did that. But it's all right. It still worked out. I'm going to do one. I will do a video, and I will do it right, and I will fix this. I'm going to need to put one layer of resin over the top here, because there's a little bit of resin that did get on that surface. So very easily, we're just going to, and it will clear up this surface a lot better and make it nice and clear and shiny. We're just going to put a nice little layer. And this won't do anything to the cellophane, obviously, because it's not on the bottom side. Let's take our little brush here, and we're just going to move that resin around. Just like that. Go right up to the edges there where those little pearls are. And if you cover those pearls, don't even worry about that, you guys. It won't hurt those pearls to cover them. They're still going to look the same. And you're actually going to provide a little bit of protection for them. So I'm going right up over the top of those pearls. Not on the rhinestones though, you guys. Don't cover the rhinestones. Just the pearls are fine. If you don't want to cover the pearls, you don't have to cover those. But I've done it a million times, and I know that it's still, the pearls will maintain their look. So I'm just making sure the whole thing is covered. And that it's a nice even layer. And then we'll take our torch and go over it. And get out any bubbles. Okay, so that's it for that. And what did I do with my torch? There it is. So this one took a little bit longer than it really should have, because I made actually more than one boo-boo. I'm going to get it under my lamp and see if there's any spots that I might have missed. Oh, I so wish I didn't have to go to work tonight, you guys. Trying to figure out other ways that I can work my monetization so that I'm actually, without interrupting you guys or trying to ask my subscribers for money, to see how I can get a little bit extra coming. And I'm going to have to unplug the bottom side of this because it's getting too hot. Okay. Alcohol swab because I have got resin all over my fingers. And this will help the resin just kind of wash right off my hands when I go in to wash them. I should have had my gloves on. I had them sitting right here to put on and I never did put them on. What's wrong with me? You guys, wear your gloves, wear your mask when you're doing resin. You're going to save yourself a whole lot of heartache in the end. Figure out what your safety things are and use them. Don't be like me. Okay, so there we go. All nice and clear and beautiful. Look at that. It's gorgeous, you guys. Okay, so I am going to, here's what I'm going to do now, you guys. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to let this cool and do its thing. In fact, I think I'm going to leave it under the lamp until that lamp goes off. And then I'm going to come back after work tonight and I'm going to finish this video. I just feel like I can't do another thing right now. I'm tired and I just need to rest. before I have to go to work. So I'm going to get some rest in. These are my other stuff that is going to go on there, and I will be back a little later to finish this. And this will be my Sunday video. Didn't have a Saturday video, but I'm going to do another video that will go up during the middle of the week, you guys, to make up for the loss of Saturday. So I'll be back. Okay, so here's where we're at, you guys. I went to work and I came home, and it's now about midnight. I had a little bit of time to have a bit of a snack and decide kind of what I wanted to do with this heart, because we're making it different. And I found some other stuff that I thought, wow, that would look so pretty. And initially I thought maybe I would put this around the outside of it, which is a gorgeous pearl and rhinestone trim, and it would be really, really beautiful around the edge of this. And I'm telling you guys, by the time I'm done with this piece, it is going to be an heirloom type ornament. This one will absolutely not be one of the cheaper things in my store. I've got the hiccups, I'm sorry, you guys. But that's okay, you know, it's just going to be one of those pieces, because I just kept finding different little things that I could do. Now, I could use both of these trims and really, really deck this thing out to make it look like just amazing. But if I'm being honest, I don't think we need to add this, and I'm not going to waste anything by adding it just because I can, because I think by adding just this to the outside, I think that's actually so beautiful. I mean, it's just gorgeous. Look at that. So this is what we're going to do. And I have got it so that it's pretty well fitted here. And I think I'm going to take it right to this scallop here. And I hope I've got everything right. Because the thing is we're going to put our adhesive around the edge of this rhinestone bit, and that's gonna do it. So I think that right now it's actually turning out to be quite a gorgeous piece, so I cannot wait to get this done. I'm so excited about it. I was excited about the first one, but boy, I'm really excited about this one, because I think it's just gonna be amazing. So let's get our B7000, and look what I did. I left it open, you guys, all day. So we're going to have to open that up and make it so that the glue can come out. So we'll just use this skewer here. Just going to press that in there. You know, I almost feel like I have one more bottle of this, and I'm thinking I'm going to put this back in here because I want it to be a little more controllable than it is with that real wide opening. Hold on, I'm going to grab my other bottle. Okay, so this is a brand new bottle of B7000. I've just got all kinds of stuff in my nails. You know, I work around a lot of dusty, not dusty as in dirty dusty, but clothing and stuff like that at work, and so I end up with a lot of dust up under my fingernails. It's more like fuzz. So if they look icky, I'm sorry. They're not too bad, but okay, so what we're gonna do is we are going to just go along the outside, and see, I can really control this a lot better with that thin pinpoint of adhesive that comes out of this with that tip on there. So, and I really want this to not be like full of oozy glue on this edge, because the part that goes against the rhinestones on the other trim is very thin. It's very narrow, so it's not thick like the rhinestone chain is. So I want to make sure that I'm not getting too much of the glue on there. So this is helping quite a bit. Now I kind of wish I had taken this out earlier today when I started working on this project. This is my last new bottle of B7000, and I've got 3 open bottles now. And that would be simply because I haven't been doing that before I close it up. Silly me. And then put the needle in there, and just doing that will keep it from pulling that needle out of the bottle. So I need to be a lot more thoughtful when it comes to that. Now I'm hoping this is going to get up against those rhinestones. They seem to be lifted up off of the mat quite a bit. But it should be okay. I'm just going to kind of try and get around here first. And then make sure it's touching all the way around. I mean, once this starts to get a little more sticky and the B7000 starts to want to stick to this, it'll be a lot easier to get it to stay where we want it to be. But this does mean that I'm going to have to put a little more time between me and the next step, or this and the next step, because it definitely needs to get attached. And unfortunately, I can't just do like when my husband puts, you know, a couple pieces of wood together. He uses clamps and things like that, and I can't do that with this because these are more delicate you know, edges, and it's a more delicate process, I should say. And so it just is not that easy. It's starting to get a little more sticky here now, so I want to get it to the point where I can lift it up and really kind of press everything down and see if it's going to stick. What I could do, which is probably not a terrible idea, is take some resin and pop some resin in different spots here and put my lamp over it for a few seconds, and that way it will be like a clamp, in that it will leave everything just as I want it. Look at how gorgeous that is, you guys. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad that I saw that out of my corner of my eye. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our resin, and I'm going to start right here at this first point and just kind of get in a few of these little spots here. And we're just going to let it go through to the mat. That's okay. And I'm going to turn my lamp on. Make sure this is touching where I want it to touch. It's hard for me to see under here sort of what it's doing. It only takes a few seconds for it to get itself attached. And then once I get around this with the resin, we'll be able to pick it up and actually sort of work with it. And I'm just going around there. And this is just the best way I can think of. And then once I get, you know, around this a bit and get it mostly stuck down, what I can do is I can flip it over and I can go along the back side and, whoopsies, and stick it all on that way. So right now, I'm just going to go along the edge of this. Like that. Press it down to the mat and grab my lamp and just make sure I've got it touching all the way down. And I want to make sure it's sort of staying flat, so that we don't have a wavy look to it. We don't want it to be wavy. We want it to be flat. Okay. So we got that. I don't know why I hadn't thought of this sooner. Get this edge. once I get my space all cleaned up, you guys, it is going to stay cleaned up. It is going to be one immaculate craft room. I am never ever going to let my craft room get to this stage again. Sometimes I think that's my entire problem. Why I get kind of depressed is because my craft room is such a mess and it makes me uncomfortable to work in. And I've never been a messy person. Never. But here lately, I'm telling you guys, it's like something has taken over and got me not concentrating in the way that I normally would. And it's kind of frustrating a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to need a little bit more at the top here. And then I'm going to put this lamp on and I'm going to leave it sit for a few minutes. And do its thing. Hopefully that top edge is going to look okay. I think it is. Okay, you guys, I'm going to let this sit for about 5 minutes and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, so we got this on there. Look at it's on there nice and stiff, not going anywhere. It's not pliable or bendable or anything like that. So it's on there really, really well. And look at how gorgeous that looks. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so now we've got all of our basic stuff done. Well, almost. We are going to take and put, I think we're going to go ahead and put one of these at the top. Now, part of me feels like I might want to put it sort of like that over the outside or over the top part of the piece, like that. I'm going to go ahead first and I'm going to do my little process of stretching out the hole. Let's see, where did my... There it is. Nope, that's not it. There they are. They're little round pliers. This is what we use to make our eye pins. And we're just going to put it through the second hole at the top of this V of the filigree. Okay. And I really do kind of feel like I like it over the top, and I want those two holes to go above this scallop. Got to make sure it stays in the middle. So let's do this. Let's look at it from behind. So that's if we put it behind, and that actually looks pretty good too. And then that's if we put it in the front, like that. This one's not going to need to have the holes stretched in it. We're going to put this one down here at the bottom of the heart, like that. I just think it looks really pretty on there, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead. We'll take a little bit of hot glue And I'm just going to put a dot here and a dot here, and we've got to get it on there very quickly and centered. Like that. And now we can put our resin on there to get it completely down on the heart, so that it's not going to go anywhere. So that piece is going to go right like that. Gorgeous. Okay, so let me get my resin. And we're not going to use a ton of resin to do either of these processes. We're just going to put enough to make sure that it's not going to go anywhere. But I don't want a whole bunch of it just kind of oozing down the heart either. Just like that. Okay, oh, and we got to do this part. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just kind of going through the little holes that are in this, and maybe just kind of along some of the edges here. And it's moving around a little bit right now, but that's okay. I'm going to adjust it. Just like that. And then I'm going to put the light on top and bottom of my lamp. But first things first, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to leave it sit there, and I'm going to put my lamp on it for just a minute so that those pieces stay right where I put them and they don't slide around. I hope this video isn't going to be too long, you guys. I know it's going to be a long one, but I want you to see the whole process. And I know I made mistakes, but we covered up our mistakes and it worked, and nothing is the worse for the wear. Everything is still quality. It's put together correctly, and we are a-okay. So now I'm going to go on the bottom side here. I think I'll just do it this way. And it'll be easier for me. And then in the end, we will get both sides really well cured with the lamps, and everything will have a all the way around curing process done. And I'll probably put it in maybe 10 minutes worth of lamp time once I get the whole thing done. And I won't put you through that because there's really no reason to do that. So, okay, there we go. We've got that on there. Look at how gorgeous that looks. Okay, and then trying to decide, I cut a couple of these out. I want to decide, do I want to put, oh, I think I'm probably going to do that. I like this at the bottom there. That is gorgeous. So I might as well go ahead and hook that on now. Just the way I want it. Like that. And I'm going to let some of this resin stream right down through a couple of the holes there. Whoops. I'll just kind of right on that filigree piece. And we want it to sit straight like that. And we'll put our lamp on. And this is just a bow trim that my friend Susie sent me. And it's absolutely gorgeous. They're just little rhinestone bows. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? You could also say it was a butterfly, because it looks like a butterfly as well. And in fact, they may be butterflies. I don't know. I thought they looked like bows initially, but they actually do kind of look like butterflies. Okay, so there we go. We've got our little bow butterfly on there. It doesn't show up super good right now, but I can see it with my naked eye. I can see it really, really well. So the next thing I'm going to do is I've got Faith, Hope, and Love. And I'm going to make sure I do these correctly. And we're going to take and put Faith on there first. And it's going to go at the top right there. I want to cut, because it'll help me to get this on there correctly if I cut this sort of so I can kind of see where the lettering is going to end, so that I get them all sort of in the right places. So I'm just going to cut around it, just like that. And I have a little cup of water. This is a transfer, remember, so it's not an iron-on transfer, it's a water transfer, but it's supposed to be a tattoo, you guys. So that's what these really are. They're tattoos. And that's why they're water transfers. But once I resin over the outside of this whole thing, then everything's going to be stuck down and it's never going to come off. This is Hope. I know it doesn't look like hope, but it is. And I have lots of hope burning inside. So I have to be hopeful right now. I'm trying to stay positive. And while I'm making decisions and things, I'm going to just try and stay positive that everything's going to be just fine. And hopefully I won't mess up this process and mess the whole thing up. That would be terrible. But the good thing about these is if I did mess up on this part of it, that one right there. And Love. If I did mess up on it, I would be able to take a sort of a solvent and remove these little tattoos from the heart and start over if I was to mess up. But I don't plan on doing that, so I think we're going to be just fine. My scissors are a little bit sticky from cutting through the resin earlier. I think there were a couple of wet spots. And then love is gonna go right, I want it right there. So, let's see, I want them facing the right direction. Why is this sticking? Okay. They're all like sticking down. Goodness gracious. I just want to make sure they're all turning the right direction and that they're looking right. Okay, I'm not going to mess with it anymore. Now, we've got our little cup of water here and a little paper towel. And all we're going to do is wet the paper towel. Let's do this one first because it's closest to me. And you just want to soak this piece here. And you can see it'll start to slide once the water goes through. And there we go. There's love. And we'll put hope right there. It's hard to tell if they're like, you know, lined up in the right direction because the lettering on these is kind of different. And there it slips. There we go. And now we're going to get Faith. And that's where I'm going to put Faith. And I'm not trying to line them up one right on top of the other. I like to set things like this up so that they're a little offset. I'm not a straight lines kind of linear kind of person. I like things to be off just a tad. Okay. So I've got my dry paper towel here. And we're just gonna tap, tap, tap. Like that. So we've got Faith, Hope, Love.
You can really see it a lot better than it's showing up on here, honest to goodness.
It looks gorgeous, actually. I love it. It's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. So, now we've got that on there. So next, these are some leaves that I got from my friend Susie. I think I might have already shown them to you and said that, but I'm going to take and cut at least a couple of these off because I do want to use some. But I just have to cut off these little attachment pieces of thread. I'm afraid I'm going to cut right through the stem on these. And we're just going to cut a few off. Three, and I think I'm going to cut 5 of them out just for the heck of it. Three, 4, and 1 more. I don't know why I'm cutting these threads right over the top of the heart. This one has a lot of threads popping out of it. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to take a dot of this water, just sort of go over this and clean it a little bit. Make sure there's no like sticky stuff or anything on there. Okay. And then I took out these little nail stickers because I thought it might be fun to add a couple little flowers over like the letters a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like here, these are so pretty. Take the little flower like that. See how tiny they are? And have it sort of let's see. there. I mean, we don't have to be super picky about it. We don't want to be too linear. And this, I think I'm just going to have it sort of come off of the word. Oh, just like that. It slid over, but that's okay. And maybe grab this one. Oops. Just like that. I love these little ones with the hearts. The flowers sort of coming out of the heart. Those are so pretty. And we've got a little heart right there, so let's just go like that. And maybe take this little piece here. And let's see, we've got this little teeny heart one.
Just to have a few little flowers. It's really hard to see them in this light.
You guys are going to be able to see all of this much better when I do my other video. See, like this one's really pretty and it says love. I don't really know if it, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh boy. Well, it's gonna stay there. All right, I'm done with those. I didn't want to put a lot of them on there, but I just wanted to have some little flowers in there that might kind of dress it up a little bit. Initially, I was going to use, you know, flowers and not use the letters, and that would have been super gorgeous too. Just to have, you know, flowers coming to one side. But I've done that, you know, on so many of these already. I just thought, you know what, I'd kind of like to do something a little bit different. And so I just decided to use these inspirational words and do it this way. All right, so now we've got all that down there. We're not going to put any more flowers or anything that we need to resin in, so we are going to put a layer of resin on the top of our heart. And we're going to take one of our brushes and just sort of brush it on. And I don't want to let this get too spread down into one corner here, because then I'm going to have dripping and all that stuff, and we don't want that. So I'm just going to sort of brush it and paint it on. We don't want a thick layer of resin over this. We just want a thin layer that's going to just shine the whole thing up stick everything on there, and it's just going to make it look finished. It's going to give it a finish, basically. It's like if you just put a gloss finish on a woodworking project, you know, to make your wood have a little bit of a sheen to it. Well, we want to kind of do that to this too and make it look more glassy. Because that's basically what we're trying to do here, is to make this look like glass. And this is like having broken glass. So I'm just going to each of these edges here. And then we will also use our torch, our little baby torch, and we will torch the entire top of it. And we've got that right here. Make sure there's no bubbles in there. Okay, so there's that.
It's looking gorgeous, and you can even see the lettering and stuff a little bit better now. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put, where's my silicone pad piece? Oh, this isn't the one I wanted, but it'll work. This one's got drawings all over it, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to hurt anything. I'm going to pop that right on top. Cure it. And I hope that the finished piece on this is going to make it worth the time you spent watching the video. I think it will. So let me get this on there for about 5 minutes. And I'll be right back. Okay, finishing touch time, guys. This is gonna be it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna use our hot glue here, and we're gonna put these lace appliques on here, and it's gonna be gorgeous. And we want to start it way up here, just like that. There's our first piece, already gorgeous. And then we're going to use this piece next. And that one, we don't want to cover up our love sticker there. Looks like we're going to cover up those flowers a bit, though. I don't think I'm going to be able to get around that. The only way I could get around that is by using the thinner piece here. And maybe what I can do is cut off a small section of this. I kind of hate to do it, but I feel like I have to. And I'm going to cut off this one leaf here because it's brown from getting burned and I don't want it. So maybe we'll go in this direction, just like that. Okay, so let's put this one on. And you can see on the back side in a couple of places where I burned it a little bit when I was burning the mesh off. That's okay. It survived. Let's see. Let's try and get at least a try and get that little heart to show on those flowers there. It's going to be so pretty, honey. You guys, you're just not even going to believe it. I called you honey. Oh, sometimes I say the silliest things, but it just comes out. I'm going to put this flower right there. I'm not going to waste it. Why would I do that? Let's see. I think I like it just kind of poking out like that. Okay. And there's not much to that. And then I just want to position these for a minute here and see where we're going to position the bow. I've got some glue strings right here, so we want to get those off of there. Those actually just transferred from my fingers to the flower, because this flower has never been glued on anything. Okay, I think I'm going to start them right about there and put my bow. I love these little bows. Oh my gosh, they are so beautiful. I'm going to put my bow right there. And so I think it kind of climbs right up into that rose. So I want to make sure I keep that leaf right there. We're going to put a nice amount of glue on this rose. And actually, I think what I want to do is position a couple of these underneath it. There we go. Aren't those beautiful sticking out there? Oh, so beautiful. I love these. I've never seen them before, so these little leaves were something new for me. I'll put that one right there. Right there. That is just gorgeous, you guys. Oh my word. The sheen from the sequins on those leaves is crazy. And you can barely see it on this camera. That is a bummer. But please stick around to the end of the video and watch the short video clip that I'm going to put at the end, because on that you'll be able to see. I've got to get this turned the right way. On that you'll be able to see the shine. And I'm going to put this one right there. And this one, I think I want that to come right there. Okay, gorgeous. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and put our bow down, and our flower got repositioned, so the bow is gonna go just like that. So we're gonna get a nice amount of glue on the underside of that bow, and it's gonna go right up in there. And I'm just going to kind of hold that down so that it doesn't go anywhere. Just like that. Okay, I love these flowers. I just love the resined paper flowers that I made. They turned out so beautiful. Okay, so now I'm sort of forgetting where some of these were supposed to go, of course, because that's what I do. So I'm just going to kind of place these around real quick. I know one. Maybe I could put this one right. That's kind of going right over that. I think I'll put that one there. And that's right, I was putting two of them sort of to the top. I like that. So let's see, do we want this one like that? Ooh, they sit nicely together just like that. So first, let me see. I think I might put this one in here. Yeah, I think I'm going to put this little white paper flower right in there because it actually sits perfectly in that spot and it's a perfect size, I think, for that spot. And this is the smaller pink rose. And these are my little porcelain roses. I will put links to all of the roses, the porcelain roses that I'm using here. The paper roses were ones that I got in Happy Mail from Debbie over at Bird's Place. I do not know where she gets her flowers from. That was sort of her hidden secret because she was selling them. But she's not selling them anymore, you guys. Not right now, anyway. There's a bunch of us that would love it if she started selling all of her stuff again. But she's just had a lot going on, and life has been rough for her like it has been for so many of us lately, it seems like. I'm running into so many people that are just going through so much trauma, it seems like, right now. And I hate it. I hate it for her that she's going through so much. I mean, it's hard, you know, we're kind of both going through a lot of stuff right now, and it's so hard because, you know, it's all rough. It just is rough. Life is rough right now. And we talk and we try to help each other, you know, as best we can, but some days it's hard when you're going through your stuff to help somebody else who's going through their stuff. You want to help them, you want to be able to do something, but you don't know what to do because you can't even help yourself. I like that butterfly right there, so I am going to, let's see, I think I'm going to resin the butterfly on there. So it's going to go right. Let me get it positioned right. I don't want it to completely cover the bow, but I want you to be able to see that butterfly. That's kind of my main concern. I want you to see that that butterfly is there. And Right there is a pretty darn good spot. Just like that, I think. I love that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that butterfly alone, and I'm going to just drizzle some resin right in there, and maybe a little bit right down in here, so that it finds little touching points for that resin to cure and attach to. I'm going to have you guys as well. There's a guy that I watch, and he's a resin artist. And when I say artist, holy moly, is he an artist. He is amazing, you guys. He does the most beautiful artwork with resin, and he's got the mind of a genius. When he puts these things together, I'm telling you, he uses little miniature animals and like I can't even explain some of it, the way that his brain works. His channel is Jedrick, and then it's a number after it. But what I will do is I will put his link in the description menu of this video, and I keep meaning to tell you guys to check him out, because until you've seen Jedrick do some of his resin work, you have not seen anything yet. All of his stuff is little miniature stuff. He makes a lot of lights, you know, lamp type pieces. And oh my goodness, you guys, he is a genius. I mean, he literally really is a genius. So I think you guys would really enjoy his channel. So I will definitely put a link to his channel. And I want you guys to let me know what you think of his artwork, because, again, he is a phenomenal artist. And I honestly can't get enough of his videos. I've been watching Jedrick for years now. I started watching him, and in fact, I will have to say that after watching his videos was when I got so interested in trying some new resin stuff. And I really wanted to do stuff that like what he does. But I don't have that kind of talent. I suppose some of them I could do. It would probably never in a million years look like what he does, because he's just crazy good with resin. But I would love it if you guys would check out his channel and let me know what you think in one of my future videos. And in fact, maybe I'll just bring him up in one, and you guys can tell me if you had a chance to look at one of his videos and what you think. There's no way you could not like him. There's just no way. He is phenomenal. I just have to stretch these holes out just a tad bit more. I think maybe a dot of resin or something got in there. Yeah, because it was big enough. It just had some resin on the edges of the hole, and so it was catching on the ball chain. So, okay, so we've got that in there. We're going to even it out a little bit, and we're going to hook up that. And then I wanted to put this on here, so I still want to. So I need to try and find a great spot for for this beautiful, beautiful dragonfly to go. I mean, this truly is, this is one of my best pieces, you guys. I'm going to say, even with all of the mishaps that happened with this one, this is one of my favorites. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, I feel like it kind of needs something over in this corner, and maybe the dragonfly should go up right there. I love this dragonfly too. It's one of my favorites. I think up a little higher works a little bit better for me. I mean, I could have it pointing more off like that. Don't want to cover up Faith. Right there. That is where our dragonfly is going to go. I mean, I could have put a butterfly in there. I don't have a little tiny pink one, or I would test it out with one, but I just felt strongly about using this dragonfly because it's so gorgeous. And I'm trying to remember, where did I... let's see. I've got... This is not where I put the ones that I loved the most. No, it is not. I do love this black and white butterfly that I have here, but I kind of felt like that was probably a bit big, and initially I did actually pick this out to use on this. It's gorgeous, and if we didn't have the faith, love, and hope and love here, I might say yes, but it is still, it's just a bit big. And this is nice and small, and I love it there. I just love it. So that is where she's gonna go. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of resin there, and we're gonna put her right there. And I'm just going to carry her over to the lamp real quick and very safely and gently lay her down. Okay, so we're going to let her go for a minute. We're going to pull this together because I don't want anything to happen to that. And I'm putting it in my bag with my other laces there. And these can go over here. And these can go back in their bag. You go there. And I didn't use this. This was one that I was considering using but didn't. I'm going to be making some more of these hearts, you guys. I want to get some made for the holidays, some Christmas ornaments. I'm wanting to do Christmas ornaments this year, so I am going to get on the train for that. I've got a few things already in the works to do as far as ornaments are concerned. So I need to get all my other projects done and then, whoopsie, then get started on my Christmas ornaments because I've got so many beautiful ones that I want to do. And if I don't get started pretty soon, Christmas is going to be here and gone before it ever happens. And I can say that because last Christmas came and went and I don't even know what happened. It's like Christmas never even happened. I'm telling you, you guys. It's like Christmas never even happened and it makes me sad. Okay, there we go. So we have our beautiful heart. Let's see if I can find something. Maybe we'll put this down. This gorgeous, gorgeous lace. Isn't that beautiful, you guys? Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And this is like the white lace that I have, only it's in purple. And it's got all these sequins and pearls and beads. And oh my word, it's gorgeous. So I thought maybe if I set this on top of that, we might get a really good view. That's still kind of hard to see. I really need something in a different color background, not white. Maybe this will work. I mean, and this is just a cover for my journal. This is my journal cover. Isn't it gorgeous? But it's fuzzy. And I'm thinking maybe this might be a cool thing to use. And we'll just set it right here. We'll set this on top of the fuzz. And there we go. And I think that looks pretty. Look at that. You guys, this is gorgeous. And you can absolutely see the faith, hope, love in this heart. I'm going to have to try and figure out a way to get good photos for it when I add it to my Etsy shop. I'm going to be doing one of these hearts for Skylar's donation, and so I've got a couple of them made. I could use one of those, or I might just do a fresh one for that purpose, but either way I need to get it into that shop, and so the sooner the better, right? So I've already sold the first two crackle hearts that I made. I already sold those immediately. They're gone. And then I have this one. I have the one, well, this one that is the other one, sort of like this one. So there's that one. So there's two of my hearts done. I'm thinking about maybe donating this one. It's very beautiful. And then I've got another one that I'm working on that I'm not done with yet. And this is one that I added. I did the crinkle and I added color. Look at that, you guys. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So I may do this one as my donation. So I haven't decided. I still have to resin over the top of this and do finishing touches and stuff. And then once I've done that, maybe I'll decide which one is going to go to Cecilia's and Skylar's shop. So we shall see. But anyway, you guys, that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. God bless each and every one of you. And I hope you'll all stay safe and stay well. Keep me in your prayers, if you will, please. I'm hoping to get this stuff all figured out soon. Not going to bore you guys with it or talk about it, but I still have things I need to do and take care of. And I will be working on that, and couldn't do it without you guys. Your prayers are helping me immensely. I believe in miracles, and I believe, you know, that God's watching out for me, and my faith is very, very strong. So I am totally good, you guys. Thanks a lot for your support. Thanks for shopping in my Etsy store. It's helping me tremendously that you guys are shopping and purchasing some of my goodies. And I can't even tell you guys, there aren't enough words to tell you thank you, thank you, thank you for everything you do for me. You guys are the best. I've got the best subscribers across YouTube. So thanks a lot, you guys. You're the best. And I'll keep the videos coming, and you just keep watching. Hit the like bell, or hit the like bell. Please hit the thumbs up, and make a comment, and hit the notification bell so that you will get notified when I do future videos if your notification bell isn't already checked. And for those of you who aren't subscribed, I hope you'll subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care. God bless. Be safe. Be well. Love your family. Be kind. And I'll see you in the next video. Stay tuned for pictures on the back end. Bye-bye, everybody. God bless.